On the rise, fall, and redemption of one of the internet's most polarizing young stars, iShowSpeed. Known off-camera as Darren Watkins Jr., Speed's journey to global stardom began with a bizarre yet captivating spectacle, barking at his webcam. What many initially dismissed as internet noise quickly evolved into a phenomenon. With an electrifying personality, live-stream stunts that bordered on outrageous, and a growing legion of fans, Speed transcended the gaming scene to become a full-blown global celebrity. From being declared the honorary mayor of Lima, Peru, to amassing over 36 million subscribers, his rise was meteoric. Yet, this rapid ascent came at a cost. The very traits that made him famous, his impulsiveness, chaotic energy, and thirst for viral moments, also drew criticism and concern. A modern-day entertainer born from the digital age, Speed reflected the internet's obsession with spectacle, but the darker side of fame loomed close. As we investigate his career, we find a story not only about a controversial content creator, but also about the dangers of fame at a young age and the fragile balance between persona and personal responsibility. At the heart of Speed's early streaming success was a character fueled by chaos and over-the-top, unpredictable persona that thrived on audience provocation and outrageous behavior. This performance often involved unfiltered responses, explosive reactions to gaming moments, and jokes that pushed boundaries, all amplified by a chat culture that encouraged extremity. While some saw this as harmless entertainment from a teenager acting out for laughs, others warned that Speed was nurturing a toxic environment. His chat mirrored the energy he projected, loud, often offensive, and relentlessly demanding more from him. Viewers reveled in his most volatile moments, pushing him further into the role of a caricature. The line between character and creator blurred, leaving critics and fans debating whether his actions were performative or genuine. Regardless, the result was a community built around intensity, humor, and unpredictability, sometimes at the expense of decency. Speed's behavior and the environment he cultivated became a reflection of internet culture at its most chaotic, raising questions about how much responsibility streamers hold for the communities they create. The consequences of Speed's unchecked antics came crashing down in the form of platform bans and public backlash. The turning point occurred during a Twitch E-Date segment hosted by Aiden Ross, in which Speed made extremely inappropriate and aggressive comments toward a female participant. What was meant to be a joke quickly veered into disturbing territory, with Speed doubling down after being reprimanded, unleashing a tirade full of sexual references and insults. Twitch quickly responded by issuing a permanent ban. This was not Speed's first offense, but it was the most serious, signaling to the streaming world that his behavior had crossed a line. However, YouTube, where most of his content lived, chose not to act, effectively giving him a second chance. This lack of consequence only emboldened him, and soon after, another incident occurred during a game of Valorant, where he launched into a misogynistic rant against a female teammate. The result, a permanent ban from all Riot Games titles. While Speed issued an apology, the damage was done. The message was clear: his actions were starting to cost him opportunities. The internet was beginning to turn its back on the once untouchable entertainer. In pursuit of virality, Speed often pushed the boundaries of safety, but few stunts were as dangerous or as infamous as the 4th of July fireworks incident. Intending to perform a dramatic live stunt, Speed lit a firework inside his bedroom, resulting in an explosion that could have easily turned tragic. His mother's panicked screams echoed through the stream as she feared her son had set the house ablaze. The room was littered with additional fireworks, cardboard boxes, and flammable materials, an accident waiting to happen. While many viewers laughed or called him foolish, others were horrified by the recklessness and the real danger he posed to himself and his family. Yet, the video went viral, drawing hundreds of thousands of live viewers and reinforcing a troubling pattern. The more outrageous the behavior, the greater the reward. Instead of serving as a wake-up call, the incident demonstrated the toxic reward system of internet fame, where dangerous actions are often met with increased attention and financial gain. Speed survived the fire, but the firestorm of criticism that followed marked another low point in his already controversial career. One of the most damaging moments in Speed's career came not from a joke or a stunt, but from a business decision: his promotion of the Paradox Metaverse, a shady cryptocurrency project. In what appeared to be a monumental moment, Speed live-streamed what many believed to be a meeting with Cristiano Ronaldo, only for viewers to quickly realize it was a disguised marketing stunt. The event, sponsored by Paradox, involved Speed giving away PS5 South and hyping up a crypto game that was widely seen as amateurish and potentially fraudulent. His chat, usually filled with praise, turned on him instantly, accusing him of selling out. In a panic, Speed attempted to mute his mic, inadvertently broadcasting a conversation in which he seemingly instructed moderators to delete the word scam from his chat. This only made things worse. YouTube investigator CoffeeZilla later exposed the company's questionable practices, cementing the perception that Speed had knowingly or unknowingly participated in promoting a scam. Whether he was misled or complicit, the incident left a lasting stain on his reputation and served as a cautionary tale about the perils of influencer marketing in the unregulated world of cryptocurrency. The fallout from Speed's crypto controversy was swift, but it wasn't the only moment that forced him to confront the consequences of his past. In a devastating blow to his soccer-centric brand, Sky Sports, a leading sports broadcaster in the UK, cut ties with him after resurfaced clips of his past misogynistic comments came to light. The timing was particularly painful. Speed was at Wembley Stadium, invited as a guest to potentially collaborate with Sky Sports on future content, and even appeared on air reacting to Cristiano Ronaldo's absence from a match. But within hours, Sky Sports issued a statement, announced they were severing the relationship, and removed all content featuring him from their platforms. This was a wake-up call. For the first time, a prestigious brand publicly rejected Speed not because of a current controversy, but due to a pattern of past behavior. In response, Speed issued a professional, well-crafted apology acknowledging his mistakes and expressing a desire to grow. It was a pivotal moment that signaled a shift in his public image, one of a maturing young man finally realizing the weight of his influence. In an attempt to redefine his image and connect with his global fanbase, Speed launched a world tour that took his chaotic energy beyond the screen and into the streets of cities worldwide. From Europe to Southeast Asia to South America, Speed was met with massive crowds and overwhelming enthusiasm. In some places, the reception turned dangerous. Fans swarmed him, broke equipment, and even injured him, as seen in Norway where he had to be carried through a crowd after rolling his ankle. Yet, these travels weren't just about fanfare. Speed immersed himself in local cultures, tried new foods, participated in traditions, and interacted respectfully with fans. His genuine curiosity and appreciation for different cultures stood in sharp contrast to his earlier controversies. In Sofia, Bulgaria, he was honored by the mayor, and in Vietnam, he was crowned king during a milestone moment when he hit 30 million subscribers. These experiences showcased a more grounded version of Speed, still wild, still intense, but increasingly aware of the world beyond his own screen. Throughout his career, one constant has remained: Speed's unwavering admiration for Cristiano Ronaldo. His love for the soccer legend has been both a comedic element of his streams and a genuine emotional connection. From mimicking Ronaldo's iconic "See You" celebration to releasing music dedicated to him, Speed's fandom reached its climax when he finally met Ronaldo in Portugal. The emotional moment was captured live as Speed cried, barked, and fawned over his idol, who graciously embraced him. This wasn't just a viral clip. It was a humanizing moment, a testament to how deeply Speed connects with his passions. Ronaldo's respect for Speed, despite his antics, served as a subtle endorsement of the streamer's growth and sincerity. This encounter reminded fans and critics alike that behind the character is a young man with real dreams and emotions. It also marked a high point in a career often marred by controversy, presenting Speed in his most authentic and joyful form. As Speed approached adulthood, subtle changes in his demeanor and content suggested a turning point. He began speaking more openly about his belief in God, took interest in Islam during trips to the Middle East, and started discussing deeper topics with fans. These developments, combined with moments of vulnerability like helping strangers, bonding with his younger brother, or expressing guilt over past mistakes, painted a more complex portrait of a young man navigating fame. While he still indulged in over-the-top antics, the frequency of his more controversial moments seemed to diminish. His fans noticed a shift, describing him as more thoughtful and even wise beyond his years at times. The chaos never truly disappeared, but it was increasingly tempered by introspection. Speed wasn't just maturing, he was evolving in real time, in front of millions, embracing his humanity while still retaining the core of what made him famous. In the end, the story of iShowSpeed is more than a tale of viral fame. It's a reflection of the internet age where controversy and charisma collide in unpredictable ways. From platform bans and public shaming to global tours and emotional fan encounters, Speed's journey is a roller coaster of highs and lows. He's been labeled a menace, a scammer, a comedic genius, and a role model all within a few short years. But what remains undeniable is his influence. Whether you love him or loathe him, Speed has become a cultural force. His ability to connect with fans, embrace his passions, and evolve in the face of scrutiny makes his trajectory one of the most fascinating in internet history. As he enters his 20s with a clear sense of purpose and global recognition, the world watches with cautious optimism. Will he continue to mature and use his platform for good? Only time will tell. But for now, Darren Watkins Jr. stands not just as iShowSpeed, but as a symbol of everything right and wrong with the pursuit of fame in the digital era.